Well, breaking news coming in at this hour as far as the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack is concerned. It is a big win for India as United States has cleared Tahawwur Rana's extradition. The US Supreme Court on Saturday cleared the 2008 Mumbai terror attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. India has long sought the extradition of Rana, who's a Canadian national of Pakistani origin, as he is wanted in the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack case. This, in fact, comes weeks after Rana approached the US Supreme Court against his extradition to India after losing the legal battle in lower courts. Rana had last reached out to US Court of Appeals for the North Circuit in San Francisco after losing the legal battle in lower courts and several federal courts. In fact, this was Tahawwur Rana's last legal chance not to be extradited to India. Rana, remember, faces charges for his role in the 26/11 Mumbai attack and is known to be associated with Pakistani-American Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist David Coleman Headley, one of the main conspirators of the terror incident that hit India's financial capital in 2008. So, big development there as far as the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack is concerned. It is a big win for India as the United States has now cleared the way for Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. In fact, the US Supreme Court, it has cleared Mumbai terror attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. This, in fact, comes weeks after Rana approached the US Supreme Court against his extradition to India. In fact, Rana had last reached out to the US Court of Appeals for the North Circuit in San Francisco after losing the legal battle in lower courts and several federal courts. Remember, Tahawwur Rana, he faces charges for his role in the 26/11 Mumbai attack and is also known to be associated with terrorist David Coleman Headley. Remember, David Headley, one of the main conspirators of the terror incident that hit India's financial capital in 2008. So a big win for India. United States clearing the way for India for Tahawwur Rana's extradition. A big development as far as the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack case is concerned. The US Supreme Court has cleared the 26/11 attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. It's a massive development there as far as the 26/11 case is concerned. Tahawwur Rana, he has been, the US Supreme Court has cleared the 26/11 attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India. India has, remember, long sought the extradition of Tahawwur Rana, who's a Canadian national of Pakistani origin. This guy is wanted in the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack case. This comes weeks after Rana approached the US Supreme Court against his extradition to India after losing the legal battle in lower courts. And my colleague Nikunj Garg joins us to get us more on this. Nikunj, how big a win this is for India?
This is massive, Osama. This is massive. For the purposes of serving the ends of justice in Mumbai 26/11, one of the biggest terror strikes that India has ever seen, and one of the biggest and the most dastardly terror strikes that the world has ever seen. This is the biggest possible step that could have been taken, and this seems to have now been taken as the agencies, now the Press Trust of India is reporting out of Washington, D.C., that this was the final step towards the extradition of this most cowardly and dastardly terrorist who actually provided the cover that Dave Coleman Headley, the principal scout and recruiter needed to scout the city of Mumbai, was provided by Tahawwur Rana in the form of an immigration firm, which is actually his original business in Canada as well, who would be extradited to India. Remember, Tahawwur Rana is one man who's not only principal part of this entire conspiracy of Mumbai 26/11, but with whom Dave Coleman Headley was in touch almost on a minute-to-minute basis, providing him a ball-to-ball commentary on all the progress that he was making in the case, in terms of reconnaissance, in terms of gathering information, in terms of gaining access to high and mighty in the city of Mumbai, including some top film stars' families. He is also one individual who is completely privy to the entire doings and workings of the top leadership of Lashkar-e-Taiba, the organization that is principally responsible, though it was a covert operation by the Pakistani army, as it is clear to the world today, but Lashkar-e-Taiba became the front of that operation. It was used as a cat's paw, and therefore people like Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, the operational commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba, people like Hafiz Saeed, the main chieftain of Lashkar-e-Taiba, are also equally important, if not more, in the scheme of things that went behind carrying out a strike like Mumbai 26/11. And hence, the inside knowledge, the innate knowledge of their workings and inside knowledge of their functionalities as an organization, as individuals, and as a grouping of notorious terrorists is very, very critical, and that this man knows very well. And that is why every attempt has been made, not only by him directly, but also by the establishment of the Pakistani government and Pakistani military in particular, to try and ensure that the Indians are unable to lay their hands on this man. Dave Coleman Headley, of course, exited this entire scenario by entering into a plea bargain with the American authorities, about which India was extremely peeved, and that peeve was conveyed to the Americans on multiple occasions by multiple senior officers and ministers of the government of India. But Tahawwur Rana, his partner in crime and a bigger accomplice in terms of conspiracy, surely will now be extradited to India. And I would say that this is a mighty day for justice. This is a mighty day for all those who have been waiting patiently over the years after having lost their loved one to a terror strike for no fault of theirs. Remember, these were ordinary people going about their lives in the city of Mumbai. Some was at a hotel, some was trying to catch a bus, some was just returning to his family after completing a day's job, and they were all brutally gunned down by these dastardly terrorists sent by the Pakistani army, trained, recruited, financed, exposed, and sent by the Pakistani army on the Indian soil. So I would say that this is a very, very big day, and it is in the fitment of things that Tahawwur Rana should be brought to India and should be facing the wheels of justice with the full might of the Indian justice behind them, and delivering the justice and some amount of solace. Nobody can bring back what those individuals, what those families, what those people have lost due to this unimaginable breach of humanity. But whatever little can be done in terms of making these people feel the same pain, their family feel the same pain by a legal and lawful means, would be done now. One hopes so, at least in the case of this one man who was, as I said, one of the principal conspirators in carrying out an entire tragedy on Indian soil.
Nikunj sir, I also want to understand from you, Donald Trump is at the helm in United States now. Prime Minister Modi shares a very great rapport with the US President. In terms of India-US relationship now, what are the implications of Tahawwur Rana's extradition, and particularly in terms of counter-terrorism cooperation between the two countries?
Well, Osama, I think that's a very good question, because if any relief is expected, it can only come in the form of a presidential order to this man, as I said, who is a principal conspirator of Mumbai 26/11. Now, that is unlikely to happen, because President Trump, irrespective of the fact that, he may wish to send a message to the world that there is a certain level of intolerance towards people who are carrying out illegal acts, generally has shown a tendency of being very, very harsh when it comes to lawbreakers. And also, as of now, at least, his relationship with Prime Minister Modi is on a special footing, and the External Affairs Minister, in his last commentary that he made after exiting from Washington, D.C., was that the level of trust between the two countries is extremely high. And my sense is that by the time the External Affairs Minister was leaving Washington, D.C., he would have had, because this, remember, happened on 21st of January when this appeal was denied by the Supreme Court. It's the news that is coming out now. So the External Affairs Minister would have certainly had some idea that this has happened. And one of the reasons of his jubilation and one of the reasons of his exuberance in the entire footing of the relationship would have been this development also, which I am 100% sure would mightily please not only the defense establishment, not only the security establishment, but also the political establishment of the country, because in the end, they would be able to show to the people of India that India would do whatever it takes to deliver justice to its citizens who have been butchered madly, needlessly, for no fault of theirs on their own soil. That is a very, very important development, and that is a very important posture from any democratically elected government, that security and the safety of the Indian citizens would remain paramount for them under any set of circumstances, and individuals who carry out acts to breach that would not be spared wherever they may be, or in whichever part of the world they may be. Hence, according to me, this is a very significant development politically also for Government of India, and obviously, as you said, a special relationship always helps. President Trump, as I said, has always maintained a posture that any act by illegal aliens or any act by non-citizens would not be tolerated by the United States on its soil.